Eyup, hope you're doing alright. So for this video I decided to do a tiny house. I haven't built one for the longest time, probably since the tiny living pack came out actually. So this is the first one that I've done on my channel. I was torn between doing a tiny house or a townhouse, which are obviously like quite different things, but I asked people on Instagram which they prefer, and the results were 50-50 for a bit, but then a few votes came in that pushed it in favour of tiny house, so yeah, that's what I went with. Also, if you want to be involved in what I build on my channel, be sure to follow me on Instagram where you can take part in polls that I do. So I built this house in Mount Komorebi. I know that I say it weird, that's just my accent, but yeah, I built it on the empty lot that comes with that world, that like small one, and it uses mostly stuff from Snowy Escape. I use those hanging plants that are from Romantic Garden stuff and a few plants from that. But you don't need that pack for this build. I just really like that pack, and yeah, I wanted to use those like hanging flowers that come in like a leafy type swatch, if that makes sense. I also use a few items from Tiny Living, just some artwork I think. It is a tiny home, residential lot, so it'll class as a tiny home with it having 64 tiles. Also, sorry that I keep up that panel in the top left. That stays on screen for a little bit, but it does eventually go away. I just forgot to get rid of it. So I built this house without really having a sim, like a particular sim in mind. It doesn't really lean towards any particular hobbies or careers, but I eventually got the vibe of a writer, maybe someone that had moved out to Mount Komorebi just to get a bit of peace and quiet so they can focus on writing. You know, just wanted to get away from it all. Maybe someone that had moved from the city or from Willow Creek or whatever. With it being a tiny house, it's obviously quite limited for space, but I still wanted to make sure that I kept like the toilet separate from the shower room, as the, you know, keeping in with the theme and the cultural inspiration from the Snowy Escape Park. And whilst building this lot, it made me want to play this world again. With the new pack coming out and then focusing on making videos and then going back to Animal Crossing, I've neglected this, like, I guess I've like kind of neglected my love for this pack really, because it is one of my favourite packs, and this world as well. Yeah, I think I might play a bit more of it today. Also with Animal Crossing, I ended up getting a capture card so that I can record gameplay, so the Animal Crossing Island tour that I mentioned that I wanted to do in like one of my older videos, that's definitely coming. I still need to catch up on the game and catch up on things in terms of time, like the events and stuff like that. Like I'm in September at the minute, but I've not done any of the like autumn stuff, Christmas, that turkey thing, whatever that was. I don't even know what it is. And then obviously there's been another festival recently. Yeah, so I want to catch up and do all that before I actually make that video. But yeah, I did a bit of terraforming yesterday, and I think after about an hour or two, it were like, yeah, hate that, destroy it all, like, get rid of it, I don't like it. So yeah, that's always fun. But yeah, looking forward to recording that, even though like my island really isn't anything spectacular or anything like that. Like, you see all these like Animal Crossing island tours like on YouTube, and it's like, I built the entire city of London in Animal Crossing, and you're just like, how have they done that? Whereas my island, it's just, you know, just normal. Anyone could have made it. I mean, I think it looks nice, but yeah, it's not like super creative. It's just, you know, it's just a basic island, I suppose. But yeah, I hope I'm getting across what I mean by that. I am a bit like, I don't know, I feel like I'm not explaining it too well, but yeah. How's everyone doing then? How are we all getting on? I've been feeling pretty good this week. I had a bit of a rest with it being like half term and that for the schools. Yeah, I've been feeling pretty good. I've also been a bit anxious though and a bit nervous. I had an assessment for ADHD, and all week, like leading up to it, I've just been feeling like really anxious and just a bit like apprehensive about it, because I haven't had the best experiences with doctors in the past. So yeah, I was a bit worried that this doctor would have been like, I don't know, like have quite archaic views of what ADHD is, like saying things like, oh, well, it's only for boys, it's only for kids. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I was worried about that, and also it potentially being like, yeah, you've not got ADHD, you're just lazy, you're just careless, you just don't care, that's all it is. Which, you know, no one wants to be diagnosed with laziness, do they? But yeah, it went well. I'll put at ease quite early on, and the doctor really nice. And yeah, that was today. So if I seem a little bit more like, I don't know, if I'm like talking faster, or if I'm a bit more, I don't know, just more, then yeah, I'm still running off like the nervousness from that. I'm still a bit like, whew, like, do you know what I mean? Like a bit, nerves were all over the place. I was sweating like mad. At the beginning, I was like, sorry if I stutter a lot, I'm just very nervous. And she was like, don't worry about it, it's fine. But yeah, I do want to thank a few accounts on Instagram actually that have been like really helpful and supportive, because without them, I'd probably still be in the dark about it all. So the first one I want to thank is Gay ADHD and Me, which for the name alone is just mint name. But yeah, they were super helpful, talked to me a couple times, and yeah, she's just a really nice person, so thank you to them. And the second one is the mini ADHD coach, and again, super nice person, really supportive and understanding, and both accounts are really educational, so yeah, I recommend giving them a follow. I'll link their accounts in the description. Not that they need me to like give them a shout out, but I just want to like say thank you. Yeah, just while I'm talking about it. So back to the build. I wanted to try and mirror the landscaping that's in the world, so you'll see me look at the world a couple times, like with the camera, like move around a little bit. And I also wanted a nice path leading up to the house, because there was like this path somewhere off to the side, and it was like a rocky dirt kind of path. And there's also one at the front, but I wanted like terrain paint to match the one that's at the front. You should see it at some point, but it's like a cobblestone path with like paving slabs around it. But yeah, I was looking for a flooring or a terrain paint that matched that. So yeah, unless I just didn't find it, I don't think it actually exists in the game, which is really annoying. I don't like that we don't actually have matching paths and terrain paint. It's the same in a few of the other worlds. So yeah, it looks a bit weird having like a path that's one like type, like a brick path or whatever, then a gap of just like grass or dirt, and then a totally different path because we don't have the matching one. So yeah, Maxis need to fix that because it is a bit annoying. I was a little bit inspired by container houses for this build. I don't think that really comes off in the final version, but I think I was going to try and build one initially, but I felt a bit like for this world it wouldn't really match. So yeah, I went with more of like a cabin type feel. Not really, but yeah. I was also really liking the contrast of the really like dark black walls, then with like the orange tone decking and the roof trim, and then with all the greenery. I don't know, I just liked how it like stood out a little bit more, because normally I would use more muted tones, like natural wood tones. I mean, obviously, orange wood is a natural wood, but do you know what I mean? Like, I would use more, I guess, like, earthy tones. But yeah, I really liked using that, like, bright orange wood, and yeah, it looks really nice on, like, the sunny days in the game with everything all together. I also did a skylight, just because there's not that many windows on this house. But I tell you what would be good, if you could have a skylight that you can close, like, if the Sims could put a cover over it, or have, like, blinds, or yeah, like a vertical blind that like covers it up. I don't know, maybe that's just me. So on with the interior now, and I went with more like natural wood tones, or you know what I mean, more muted wood tones inside, because I just wanted more of like a relaxing type feel to it, because I think when you live in quite a small space, as with, you know, a tiny home, it can be a bit much if there's like lots of contrasting colours and loads going on. Not that that can't look great, but I thought maybe a writer would want something a bit more muted and not too much going on in terms of colour, or the colour scheme, should I say. As usual, I did the bathrooms off camera, and like I said, I separated the toilet from the shower room. The bedroom does look a bit cramped, I think, with the bed being where it is and like having side tables, but I did playtest the build and it all works just fine. I want to build more tiny homes after building this one. I think I just forget that this lot type even exists, even if I did build something that's classed as a tiny build or a tiny home. I don't set it as one. But I was watching Lil Sims's videos the other day on her More Simsy channel. She did this like 100 baby challenge with Rick Astley as a sim, not like actually playing with the Rick Astley. Yeah, so she was playing on a tiny lot, but the house wasn't actually a tiny lot. Like it was massive, but there's like a few, not massive, but it was like a big house. And it's because like there's a few tricks that you can do to make a bigger house class as a tiny home residential. Yeah, because you just get so many like bonuses to like social things, like building relationships, skills, stuff like that. And yeah, I just remembered how many bonuses you get with it, and it's really good for like starting out. Like if you want to play with the sim and you want to start leveling skills and advancing in your career, the tiny home residentials are really great for that. So yeah, I just overlook it all the time. I just like totally forget it's even a house type or a residential type. Oh, I forgot as well, I used those hanging lights from the holiday celebration pack. So yeah, it uses those as well. But that's a free pack if you haven't got that already. But if you haven't got that in your game, it doesn't really matter that much. It only uses those things, I think, anyway. Oh, I just remembered as well, I said that I only used Tiny Living artwork, but I used a shelf in the bathroom from that pack and a bookcase as well. I was going to use the bookcase that comes with Snowy Escape because I love that one, but I just couldn't fit it in the build properly. And yeah, the Tiny Living one just fits perfectly, so I used that one instead. So yeah, with that I'll end the video here. Let me know in the comments what you think of the build. All the details will be in the description along with my gallery ID and all the links to Instagram and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you later. Bye!